And welcome back to another Pokemon Master video. Today, once again, we're actually going to be playing the game. Indeed, today we have a little bit of a different recording setup. Unfortunately, the screen, or at least the game, isn't going to be very big, but I will be able to show some extra stuff on the sides here, which I think would be kind of help this video out. So that's what we're going to do here. But anyways, we have, I think this should be, regardless, yeah, so recently there has been the Academy events. Oh, by the way, this video is not gonna have any audio because I'm recording this on my screen. I'm deciding not to record internal audio because the last time I recorded internal audio, it like messed up against the impact video. And so Black Hole kind of seems to be messed up right now, and I don't want to risk recording another or ruining another video. So we're just gonna not have any game audio, unfortunately, but I think that way it would just be safer. And of course, at the end of the day, the game audio is good and not super important. But the first thing I wanted to start off with today is the Academy event. So we had the Academy event initially, which in the last time I made one of these videos we did for the Rosa. And since then, I've learned a lot about how this mechanic works. I think, of course, you know, if you want better resources, look online. I'm pretty sure other people have talked about this kind of content in extent. Like, they talked about it a lot. And there's a lot of interesting things about it. But I'm just going to kind of tell you guys what I've learned so far and kind of what I feel about the event. At the end of the day, this kind of feels like a pay-to-win kind of feature in the game. Essentially, it rewards people who scout for the character, because certain characters if you scout for example, for this certain event, if you do costume Marnie or costume Morty, you're gonna get a better buff. You get more orbs, and the orbs translates to better sync rates, which means that your free Florian is better if you have because you get these orbs to upgrade your characters or to upgrade the Florian's sync rate. And you get more orbs, the more bonuses you get. And so if you roll for the newest characters, then you get more orbs, which means you get better stats, better things you can unlock with the character. And so it's kind of pay to win in the sense that if you spend more gems, your free character gets better. Now there's a few caveats to it. Pokemon Master has made a few things that kind of counteract this. Allows it so that free-to-play players, or I shouldn't say free-to-play players that don't roll for these certain characters, they still have an opportunity to get orbs, even more orbs than if you would have these characters. So there's kind of some safeguards to that. And at the end of the day, these Academy characters, it's weird because Rosa Academy Deerling and Florian Lechonk is not Academy. Maybe it's Academy after in like another menu, because this is the Academy menu, so it might be that this is locked here. But regardless, indeed, these characters at the end of the day aren't really the best characters. Yes, you can unlock a lot of special passives. So like my Rosa passive, she's able to, debut Unova Circle defense, and then it's extended. And she also has Drought Alert, so when she does Sunny Day, it lasts for a long time. And so, you might look at this, and Bogo Giga Drain. So you might look at this character and we're like, wow, okay, you have a lot of field options. She is a field type herself. And so she is going to be giving the grass train when she sinks. She has the Unova Circle. She has the Sunny Day. She has the Bogo Giga Drain, which means she can instantly use Giga Drains and heal herself. So you might be thinking, wow, that's pretty good. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, the stats aren't very good. Like, she has 300 defense plus, where does it show? 300 plus 200, so she has 500 defense, or 500 HP, and then like 100 defense. So her stats are awful. And that's kind of the trade-off when you do these. It's like, well, you can try to go for really strong moves. You can go for really strong passives. You can go for really strong stats. But at the end of the day, it's hard to go for all of them. If you have the limited sync pairs, then it becomes easier to go for more balanced character. But if you don't, you can really only focus on a few things. And the thing is, the Academy characters are important for future Academy events. So like if you miss Rosa, then for this event, you don't have the extra 1.3 times bonus for the orbs. And so it's important to do these events so that the character that you get is going to be usable in the next Academy event. Because the next Academy event, Rosa's going to get a bonus. Florin is probably going to get a bonus. These characters are probably going to get bonuses. Again, this event has only happened twice, so we don't know exactly if these characters are going to get bonuses, but we can assume that there's a good potential that they will. But yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about the event. That's my overall thoughts. It's a very pay-to-win feature because your free character gets better if you spend gems. That's just how it is. However, these characters at the end of the day aren't going to be your strongest characters, right? They aren't really going to match up to, Poke Fairs, your Master Fairs, your Arc Suits. These characters are mainly going to be what you use in like Legendary Gauntlets and stuff like that. So they don't need to be super strong. In terms of strategies on like how to build your characters, it's kind of like what you want out of your character. So currently the character that I have, or the Florin that I have, I really want to focus on these particular stats. So I really want it to have Paldea Circle when it enters. This also extends the duration of Paldea Circle, which is good because if you go over here, applies Paldea Circle after you use a trainer move. And so that means that when you summon it, you get Paldea Circle, and then when you use a trainer move, you get another Paldea Circle, which is again extended. And so because of that, what you do is you summon this guy. You're just going to be tackling until you're ready to set up another Paldea Circle. There's another good passive here where your tackle heals your whole team. So that's very good. Your tackle also flinches. One of these, the tackle flinches. Yeah, tackle flinches with staggering 3 up here, which you're going to always get when you go for the Paldea Circle. And there's also like the tackle causes confusion too, and like you heal yourself. Oh, here's the confusion. And that's kind of like the main thing you want to do. Of course, for moves, you also have potion, which is good. You also have X attack all, which if you unlock the final kind of bonus here, you get your critical hit rate of all your teammates increased by 2. So you can fully raise your crit with that. Of course, you have potions, and then you have, like, you can raise your ally speed, which is pretty strong too. So my build right now, I don't know if it shows where I can show it here. Is it history? But my build is basically what I just mentioned. Don't have that much HP on my character. Like, it's only 300 plus 300 HP. But anyways, let's just get going. Kind of what I've realized when it comes to playing it, like how you should kind of manage your runs. There's a few things to pay attention to. There is a lot of special runs, or a special, I guess, what are these? Events, battles. There's not events, but there's a lot of special like things. When you look at these, there's only one special thing here. Marnie is kind of special because she gets 40 of, the red, green, and blue orbs. So she's kind of a good target one. Again, imagine if you have, not only you have Florian, but you have 2 of the event or of the bonus times 2 characters. Instead of 40, you're going to get 60 base when you have him. But then you get 200 extra times bonus. So it would be, if I had the 2 new Eunice and Florian, it would be, instead of 40 of each, it would be 140 of each, which is a lot. That adds up to 420 total orbs. And that's how I kind of think about it. It's like, what's the best bang for your buck? What's the most orbs you can get per battle? And Marnie is going to be your highest one out of all these. Usually it's the character that the event's featuring. So oftentimes that's going to be the one that gives a lot of orbs. For example, if I do Nessa, her total orb, instead of 120 before bonuses, is 90 before bonuses. Now, let's say you need yellow orbs. Then maybe you want to battle Nessa because Marnie doesn't give yellow orbs. And so sometimes the yellow orbs are important for your best passives and your move bonuses. So the yellow orbs are really important here. But in terms of the best bang for your buck, it would be battling Marnie here, because you get 120 base orbs. And then everybody else, yeah, it's not that many, like Hyakumo 60 if it's only one. So that's pretty low value. That being said though, you kind of always want to unlock your TM orbs. I think it's always good to just have just to get all the TM orbs. And of course, this is a team with the bonuses here that I'm using. Neo Champion Marnie is my best friend in these battles because she helps me clear everything pretty quickly and efficiently. If I didn't have her, I'd have to focus on attacking with Rosa and Florian, which would be a nightmare. Some of these battles are actually more difficult than the others. So for example, the TM battles are always fairly easy, but that Marnie battle, if I would have fought Marnie, her battle would have been like a lot more difficult. Obviously, Neo Champion Marnie kind of takes care of everything. But if you get to a point where you have potentially 3 of these Academy characters that you're using, because those might be your characters that give the most bonuses. If you're using 3 Academy characters, then the battles might become very difficult. The TM battles are generally easier, but for example, that Marnie battle would have been more difficult than the rest of the battles. But yeah, getting our TM for our first kind of battle is nice. I'm looking at these battles, and once again, nothing special here, which is kind of unfortunate. We have some yellow orbs already, so I probably want to go for some blue orbs or some yellow orbs. And I would honestly rather go for it yellow blue orbs. Because in my opinion, Florian's moves don't really matter. You will eventually get a lot of green orbs at the final exam. So you don't need to worry about getting a lot of green orbs. But I find like green orbs are the lowest value because when it comes to support characters, it doesn't really matter how much their moves do. You'd rather them have good passives than have good moves, in my opinion, when it comes to Florian and Rosa as well. But let's do Volkner's lesson. Again, it's 90 total orbs. All these are going to be 90 total orbs. There's nothing special about them. It's just what you want to prefer right now. And I prefer the blue and the yellow. So that's what I'm going to go for. Again, these battles I know are going to be easier. Certain battles are more difficult, and I will kind of mention to you at the end if we don't see them. But these battles are going to be pretty easy because there's nothing special about these battles. And again, I find that the TM battles are actually easier than these normal battles. But again, because of Neo Champion Marnie, these particular battles are cakewalks. As you see here, I just need to use 2 Fiery Wrath, and that kind of deals with the opponent. Alright, hopefully we get a interesting one so I can actually talk about stuff that I have here on the left side. So let's see. Got some Orby boys, and let's see. Give me something special so I can actually talk about certain things. Alright, good. We have a few things now. Again, if you this Ingo and Emmett's 2-card train, this also gives 40 each, and that battle is a little bit more of a difficult battle because it's a 120 in total. But we have Brock's Rock Smashing Training. Now, these are special events, and the thing about the special events is that I'm not exactly sure how they work. But I think they always give similar rewards. So I've done a few Brock Rock Smashes. If you look down here at this text I have down here, and I've done this at least 4 times. And when I've done this 4 times, it seems like he gives me pretty good amount of orbs. So the thing is, this is part of like if you don't scout for those limited characters, this is your way of getting more orbs. Because if I would have fought Emmett and Ingo, right, I would have gotten 420 total orbs. Let's say that's my maximum amount I would have gotten for bonuses. Oops, I actually clicked on my notes. But if I do Brock's training, there's a potential that I get 330 red orbs, 270 blue orbs, or 150 green orbs. These are all orbs that I've gone before. There's also a chance you miss and you get 30 red orbs, which is kind of sucks. But these, when you do special events or special kind of interactions like these bonuses don't get multiplied by your characters. And so if I was, in my opinion, oh, there we go. I got 210 blue orbs, which is actually new. I haven't gotten that before, so I'm going to continue writing my notes blue. So yeah, with Brock's training, you can get, it seems like you can get all the color of the orbs, ranging from, potentially 30 to 330. And the range could be even more. I think 30 is the floor, but I've gotten more than 330 red orbs in certain cases. I've gotten 600. As you see here, I've talked to N, and I've gotten 600 red orbs with him. And so this is the way to get orbs if you don't have those limited characters. This is your way of getting more orbs. Again, this is still only like, 200, 300, 400 orbs. And if I would have fought Ingo and Emmett with full bonus characters, I would have gotten, again, 420 orbs. Which, again, if you scout for those characters, if you're kind of pay to win, then that's kind of your way of maximizing your orbs. But in terms of if you don't have a lot of bonuses, this is a great way of getting orbs. And certain characters you can target orbs. With Brock's training, it's kind of hit or miss what orbs you can get. But certain ones you get specific orbs. Alright. So we have Lear. So there's actually a really good Lear one. This Lear gets 40 of each, but there's a Lear that gets 140 of each. And that 140 each that Lear gives, again, it's not multiplied by your character. So that's actually better than if you were have the two limited characters. But we didn't see that this run. Again, Morty, Challenge 2, he gives a bunch of orbs. So again, that's a pretty high value. But right now, do I want to risk another Brock, or do I want to hit up Morty and or Lear? I do like Lear because Lear gives red and yellow orbs. So I'm gonna go ahead and fight Lear. The only time I got 30 red orbs, which is pretty low amount of red orbs, was when I did Brock's training twice. So I'm not sure if there's something there, like if you do Brock's training twice, then maybe you get less orbs. But I noticed that was the case there. I think Lear, because it's a 40 orb everybody, or it's 120 orbs total, I believe it's a more difficult battle. Yeah, as you see here, it's not going to be as simple as 2 Fiery Wrath knocking out my opponent's Pokemon. So I actually kind of need to play this a little bit here. Okay, I'm playing this on my laptop, and so I'm like fumbling here. My Lechonk's almost dead. Alright, I don't think I'll fail this battle. I say that while I might actually fail this battle here. But yes, so yeah, again, like I said, the battles that gives you 120 orbs base generally seem a little bit more difficult. So that's why this battle I'm like struggling a little bit here. I also trolled a little bit. Oh my gosh, I missed my Fiery Fierce Wrath. That's unfortunate. I actually lost this battle. Are you kidding me? I actually lost this battle? Hopefully I don't. I might lose this. I didn't lose it. Oh my gosh, that was... Yeah, obviously, again, I don't normally play with mouse. And so, my performances on these battles might not be very good. But, again, for the video. Again, I'm only getting, this is what, 225, 228 total orbs. Which isn't bad, but with Brock, there's a potential of getting more orbs of a specific type. But again, it's Brock, so it's a little bit hit or miss. You don't know what you're going to get. Again, anything special here? Nothing that I haven't mentioned already. We have, what's it called? Break 2. So Break 2, in my notes here, I've only done break 2 a few times, but Whitney, the last time I talked to her, she gave me 300 blue orbs. I'm not in the market for blue orbs. I would rather get red or yellow orbs. And so it's just like, okay, who do I want to talk to? I know Whitney gives me blue orbs, and she's probably going to give me blue orbs again, which I don't want. And so let's talk with Berg or Marnie or How. We'll talk with Berg here. Let's see what Berg gives us. He might give us green orbs because he's wearing a green shirt. Oh my gosh. So that's how it works. Maybe if you see a character wearing green, then they give green. So what did he give me? 400 green orbs. Again, I think green orbs is the worst, so that's kind of unlucky. I should have talked with Hal or Sonia, but that's okay. Now we know it, but I mean, 400 orbs is a lot. Again, if I would have fought Morty or Marnie, they would have only given me like 228. But getting 400 green is pretty good. Midterm exams, this is where you want to upgrade your characters. Again, this is kind of where I want to head towards. It seems like I'm lacking severely in red orbs here. That's okay. And then we want to kind of hit up our attack. We can actually upgrade our attack quite a bit here. We can't quite get the critical hit, but we can at least get almost critical hit. And then we want to upgrade our stats as well. Eventually, you might want to, if you have a lot of extra red orbs, you might want to get Escape Artist and free up these blue orbs. Or if you don't have enough blue orbs, you might want to, or you don't have enough red orbs, you might want to use the blue orbs to unlock these attacks. That's what I noticed here. So you don't want to do all of this together. You want to make sure you free up some of the orbs that you need, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, attack is useless on characters like Florin and Rosa here. Because they're not going to be your main attackers. They're just going to be your supporters, so you don't really care about their attack stat. That's as much as I can go here. We only have one attack TM. You only get one before midterms. After midterms, you get one, and then, when you finish midterms, you get one, and then after midterms, you get a few others, or you get one more. You always want to go with super hard. This gives you the most amount of orbs. It says 300 orbs, but obviously you get the 1.5 bonus, so it actually ends up being 450 orbs. It's also important to upgrade your Floran to max level. So what I did is they give you him at level 140. I upgraded him to level 150 just for the extra stats. But also, you also want to upgrade his potential. So every time you complete a run, you get some tickets. Clawville gives you some tickets. And you want to go ahead and use those tickets to upgrade your Pokemon's stats. Because you don't start off with a lot of stats, so those tickets actually give you a good amount of stats. And then you also want to unlock the 6 star. So after 20 tickets, you can unlock the 6 star. Because Lechonk is tech, his tech sync move does 1.5 more damage now that he's 6 star. And so the sync move usually just knocks out the Pokemon. So the more runs you do, the stronger your Lechonk gets. And the easier time you have with competing battles. And so it's important that you go ahead and power up your Lechonk as much as you can. And indeed, so those battles become pretty important. At the beginning, there's a chance that you might fail them. But if you play them enough, you will be able to kind of get the victory. Here's an interesting one here. So you notice that this Wally actually is shining. You see all this shining dust, and you see his exclamation mark actually glows. So I learned this feature a little bit. And it seems that certain characters, certain battles you do, and the more you do them, they kind of get reran. So Wally here is Wally's training, and you get red orbs. So first, when you do Wally training, you get 60 orbs. And then I think the second time, you might see him again on a future kind of round. And he'll give 20 orb. And then the next time you do them, you might see him again, and he'll give you 180 red orbs. The third time you see him. In a single run. It resets every run. I did this with Leon earlier, and Leon gives yellow orbs. I think Team Rocket gives blue, and I think another character gives green. I think it might be Rosa or somebody. But regardless, this is your opportunity to get a lot of a particular orb, because 180 times like your multiplier ends up being a lot. Because remember, Morty, Marnie, all those only give you 120 base orbs. If you do Wally 3 times, you end up the second run is 120. And so basically, if you do all 30 runs, it averages out to be like 120 orbs of a particular color per run. If you do all 30 runs, like maybe you might not hit the last run. So right now, for example, I wouldn't do these particular battles because I might not able to run into Wally 3 more times in these last few battles, because one of them is going to be a TM battle, which I want to do. And so, like, if it was my first or second or third round and I saw Wally and I wanted red orbs, then I might do it. But now is a little bit too late. There's also another one. I think it's the Battle Chatelaire ladies. Those ladies give like first the lady gives you 20 of each, and 40 of each, and then 60 of each. Not each, but 3 of the orbs. And that also ends up being like 120 orb on average of 3 different types. So there's a few like few battles, the sparkly ones with the exclamation point that light up. Those battles, if you keep doing them, you'll eventually get more of them. And so I think that's something important to keep in mind. Again, it's Leon, it's Wally, it's the Battle Chatelaire lady. I think it's Team Rocket. I've only seen Team Rocket at like around with only a few rounds remaining, and it's blue orb. And I think someone else does green orb too. I think it's Rosa. Well, I could be wrong. But that's what I've noticed about those particular battles. So that's a special battle. That being said, though, I want red and yellow orbs. So we're gonna battle Blaine here. Again, Wally could have given me a lot of red orbs, but I'm in the need of a yellow orbs as well right now. And so we're going to go ahead and fight Blaine here. And again, Blaine is going to be an easier battle because it's not one of those 120 base orb trainers. Those battles tend to be more difficult. Oh, and by the way, the Leon battles, and I'm guessing I've only done Leon, but I'm guessing the Wally battles too. It gets a little bit more difficult every battle, but it's not like crazy difficult in my opinion. Like the 180 Leon battle, I don't remember being too difficult. I could be wrong, but also it was just Leon by himself too, so it was like a single trainer. So your AoE moves deal like more damage, for example. Okay, so we have another one. It's Nimona. It's not Rosa, it's Nimona. Oh, so I have 3 of them. So good, I can give you all the examples. Leon was one. The Battle Chatelaire lady, again, if you do this early, it's 20 each, so 60 base is not a lot, but it's the same thing as Leon and Wally. But the more you do them, it will be a different Battle Chatelaire lady, but it should give you more. And then Team Rocket Infiltration, again, I've never seen it early, I've only seen it late, and so he gives 60 blue, and then Nimona gives green. And so if you want to ramp up a certain type of orb, you do those trainers. But we are in the market for some red orbs. So break time interaction 4. Every time I've talked with Mela, she's always giving me red orbs. So our options are Jasmine, Mela, and Acerola. I feel like she gives blue orbs. I could be wrong. But Mela has given me red orbs historically. And so don't fail me now. Again, these are why these notes are important. 300 red orbs. There we go. So that's why I wrote these notes on the sides for today's video, because I want to explain how when you do these Pasio Academies, I think it's good to write these notes down. Because when you write these notes down, you're able to remember what character gives what, and you can kind of plan your run accordingly. Now I'll have a good amount of red and yellow orbs, so we can go ahead and, kind of unlock more of our tiles. We know, or I know, that final battle gets 300 red orbs. Alright, so if I want to unlock, let's say, well, yes, I think, I think Tackle Fist Bump is important. Let's say I only really want to focus on Paldea Circle. So I know this one costs 160 orbs. and this one costs 80. So how many more orbs do I need? So let's just calculate it like that. So I need 80. Is this 80? I need 80, 140, 200, 260, 340, 500. So I need 500 more red orbs. I know the final battle gives me 300 orbs because it's 200 plus the Florin bonus of 1.5, and so it'll be 300 orbs. So I need 200 more red orbs. I have 50 orbs right now, so I technically only need 150 more red orbs, okay? So if I want to unlock all that, that's how I can calculate it already now, alright? For these battles, again, Morty is a special battle because he is a 120 base. Red here is also a special battle. Red is going to be red, leaf, and blue. They always give 150 yellow orbs, and again, that battle is going to be more difficult. It's not going to be easy TM battle. It's going to be more difficult. But here is Professor Sycamore. I don't remember ever doing this. Professor Sycamore's question. So as you see on my list here, I haven't had a Professor Sycamore in any of my runs, or if I have, I've skipped him. And so this is going to be my first time doing this, so we'll see what he is going to give me. Probably it would have been better to press Morty so I can guarantee some red orbs, so I can, work on the 150 that I still need left. But I already have a pretty decent Lechonk, so I can kind of troll this. Pick an instinct. Red or blue? Well, I need red orbs, so red. He gave me 600 of yellow orbs. What the heck? That doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Okay. So, Sycamore. And if I choose red, equals 600 yellow. The thing about yellow is that while it is useful, it's kind of... Sometimes and I find oftentimes I don't have enough yellow, or I end up having way too much yellow. So again, there you go. 600. It's possible to get 600 in certain interactions, but it's rare. Anyways, the last two battles here, one of them needs to be my last TM. And judging, and we'll see what TM it gives. Oh wow, it's not. Okay. So it's not gonna be a TM. Well, we see Clara here. I swear I've done Clara before, but Lance, what is Lance? Is this break interaction Lance training ground? I've done Lance before but I haven't done Lance recently. And Clara gives me red orbs. Clara gives me 300 red orbs. That would be enough red orbs to complete the red orb number I need. So I should probably just go with Clara here to guarantee that I have enough red orbs for what I want. These battles, again, as you notice, it's a story, and so it's no bonuses that I'm going to get with my character. So it's always going to be base 300. Last one's going to be a TM battle for sure. Potentially, it could be red too. Hopefully it's red. Nope, it's yellow, which is kind of unfortunate because I have so much yellow orbs. I would rather have some more red orbs. But it's a Dr. Clawville, or Director Clawville here. Pretty simple here. We're going to get some more yellow orbs. Oh, I should also put here Clara is 300. Clara, 300 red. Okay, so we're just gonna finish this off here, and that's kind of. And then we have our final battle to look forward to. The final battle is gonna be pretty easy, especially now that my Lechonk is 6-star. His sync move does 1.5 more damage. This final battle ends up being pretty simple here. And I have so much yellow orbs, I don't know what to do with them, which is kind of unfortunate because, yeah, sometimes you just end up with way too much yellow orbs. All right, upgrades. We can upgrade our there, and then we can go over here, start working over here. Look at all these yellow orbs we have. We barely have any green ones. Usually for this battle, oh my gosh, I need to do this. Okay, so that's how we do it. Again, we don't have enough blue here to even unlock both of them. And so we kind of got to do something like this. And select multiple, we're going to do this. We're going to get our potions. and we're gonna get our support studies. Generally, for this battle, what I like doing is I like doing defensive studies, so I get more defense. And when I'm done with the battle, I can redo the grid and delete this and go with the support studies. But at this point, I don't really care. I feel powerful enough that I can just do this. Indeed. So that's my grid. I don't have that much HP or defense, but it should be okay. And then we go again, the 300 of red, blue, and green. This battle is going to be pretty simple as well. Again, it's hard to fail these battles. I'd always go for the highest bonus so that your character ends up being as strongest as they can at the end of all this. But yeah, attack, and then attack, and then we're just going to tackle it out. Hopefully you have enough defense. I'll be critting and confusing my opponent, so it should be pretty good. And we just tap on the tackle button. At least that's what I do. There's also, the Zen headbutt build, the mud shot build, the hyper voice, or all that stuff too. I don't generally go for those builds because I like going for, because these characters aren't going to be doing damage in my opinion. Like this is just a support character that you're going to have. So I'm not going to go for any of those attack builds. But you have that option if you want to. Just because this is the build that I like, it doesn't mean that it's the build that you should go with. You should go with whatever build you feel like you want with the character. That's kind of the good thing about the Academy characters, that you can build them however you want to build them. You don't need to follow someone else's build. If you want somebody more offensive, you want someone more defensive, you want the character to do certain things, then you have the option to do so. But we went ahead and finished that battle. Pretty simple. And let's see if we... Okay, first off, we need to fully build our character. So I'll do that now. So we have this passive if you want. We can't quite get this. We're unfortunately 7 off. Wait. I can get that team fist bump. So what I can do is I can select this, and then I can get rid of this. There we go. And I can get Taco Team Fist Bump. So that's pretty strong. But at the end of the day, if I go ahead and do my attacks, probably for this I want more potion stuff. I feel like it's more valuable. Do I have this unlocked? I do have that unlocked. And then the rest of it, basically it's 1 HP per 1 orb. And then I think it's like 4 defense per 1 orb. And so I usually like to make it a little bit even, like this. And then this, and then maybe this, and this, and this. Or maybe even less defense and more HP. I'm not sure exactly what the best play is. But yeah, if I do this, and then I'm all done with my Lechonk here, again, I end up having a lot of blue orbs left. Like a lot of blue orbs left. And that's my character. But if you see here, I only have like 108 HP and 40 defense. So it's not very good. Epilogue, you always want to press epilogue. So one thing that I did in the past was I exited the run, because you can like end the run whenever you want, kind of as a way of saving stamina if you don't like the direction your run is going. But I would always recommend you finish out the run, at least to begin with, because there's a certain event and you can get 400 more gems. I missed, because I only saw this event when I was on Cerebi.com, but apparently there's a special ending that you can get, and the ending is like 10% or something. And if you get that special ending, then you get 400 extra gems, which is an extra roll, or extra scout. And so you always want to like do the run out so you can get it. But there we go, we got that, and we get to choose which one we want to keep. I'm gonna keep the one that I originally had because it gave me 100. It gave me like 160. I think 160 more HP, which I think is gonna be more valuable, and I think I have basically the same passives and the same moves too. And so again, I just value the HP there. He gives you some power-up tickets, which you can exchange for useless items. And yeah, that's kind of like the run. Let me see if I go jump onto it again, if I can find anything special here. But yeah, that's basically it. Again, the first time we have Professor Kukui. He gives green orb for TMs. But yeah, that's kind of what I learned from the Pasio Academy so far. It's at the end of the day, it's a luck-based event. It's luck-based and it's kind of pay to win. And so you have to do it a lot to be able to get your desired build. One day, if there's gonna be an Academy character that I like, that's free, maybe I'll roll for the 2 other characters, and I'll make my Academy character super strong. But as it stands now, the data mine for next month has actually already released, and it doesn't seem like they're adding any new Academy characters next month. And so, for now, this is gonna be the last Academy event for a little bit, and so we'll see. But yeah, I think if you do the Academy event, you kind of go into it knowing that, again, closing thoughts, it's pretty pay to win and luck based. Again, if you don't have Marnie and Morty, it could be a little bit difficult to get a lot of orbs. And it could be very luck based. Like you could talk with Brock and he can give you 30 orbs, or he can give you 330 orbs. So like a lot of these, you just have to kind of figure out trial and error, figure out who gives you what. I think it might even be different depending on the Pasio Academy. Like Rosa, potentially when you talk with Lily, she might give you different color orbs or a different amount. And so this is just trial and error. And just because, Gloria, I picked spicy curry and I got 450 blue, doesn't mean I'm always gonna get a high amount of blue. Sometimes it might be sweet that gives me more blue. Grimsley, I know for Rosa, Tails always gave me a high amount of orbs, but for Grimsley here, it could just be 50-50, but these amounts could change, and I would love to see if there's like an actual spreadsheet and actual values for all that stuff. So it's a lot of just trial and error and luck base, And at the end of the day, these characters aren't going to be like the strongest characters on your account. And so even if you miss, even if the character doesn't have the greatest stats, doesn't have, all the moves, doesn't have all the powerful moves, doesn't have all the passives that you want, at the end of the day, it's a free character. It's kind of for fun, and it's just kind of a way that you can just build a character however you want. Like the game actually gives you options to build a character that you want in a certain way. So that's just how it is. You have to look at it like that. This video is getting a little bit longer. I was gonna do Battle Rally. I had it all like planned here as well, but I think I'll save that for maybe off camera or another time. I was gonna do this on camera, but I kind of want to end this video here. I'll just do that Academy stuff. Didn't think it would take me more than 30 minutes, but here we are, almost at like 45 minutes. So yeah, that's just Academy event. Again, even though that's just what I've noticed, but I'm sure like other people who play this have noticed other things. So if you're watching this and you have some tips and advice that you want to give other people or give me, you can go ahead and mention that. If I had given some misinformation, again, this is just me from my experience playing it. It doesn't mean that my information is 100% correct, or there could be more explanation to what's going on. I'm only just talking about what I see here from playing, a decent amount of runs. So thank you for watching. You're beautiful the way you are, and I'll catch you in the next Pokemon Master video, where I don't know what we'll do, but yep. But I just wanted to get this Academy video out just because I just thought it was interesting.